And this is the Midwest region, headlined by the 1 seed Michigan, who have lost, I believe, 3 games all season. And they will face a familiar darling, either in the UMBC. Are they the Terriers? No, they're the Golden Retrievers. Or Howard. Regardless, I don't think either of those teams really have a shot just with the talent and size and physicality Michigan displays.
3.
They've lost 3, correct. Yep. Cool. So I got Michigan advancing. No repeat for the Golden Retrievers.
Yeah, I like Michigan as well. Dusty May's always done very well in this tournament as well. So I like Michigan to avoid any kind of upset.
Yeah, Michigan is my second best team in my power rankings behind the team that I will pick to win the championship. And they are top 5 in every metric except for defense, which they're 23rd in. So they're still good at defense.
Yeah.
But they are elite at everything else.
That's surprising. They are the number 1 rated defensive team per KenPom.
Really?
But you've got them 23rd
in that feature.
I am gonna caveat. I think it's right, but I'm having some parts that are breaking, so maybe that part broke as well. I'll have to take a dive. I'm just saying things that I might not even support myself. We'll find out.
Just blame it on the shaman if you want.
No. I take accountability for my actions here on this show.
Okay.
But I will pick Michigan.
Cool. Well, Michigan advances then. The 8 versus 9 in this region is 8-seeded Georgia versus 9-seeded St. Louis. The Billikens, headlined by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Model of St. Louis.
Does not surprise me. My worry about St. Louis personally is they faltered a little down the stretch. I'm pulling up their schedule right now, so bear with me.
Yeah, 2 losses to Dayton.
Mm-hmm.
Dayton was a team just on the bubble, including a loss in the conference tournament to Dayton.
They went 4-4 in their last 8 games.
Yeah.
Not really what I want to see from a mid-major that theoretically plays a bit of an easier schedule. I'd kind of like them to coast into the tournament and kind of re-emphasize and enforce that they're playing their best ball. And then they match Georgia, a team that is pretty long and athletic, can hit a lot of shots. I'm interested to watch the Sumpto Surreal versus Kareem Abdul-Jabbar matchup, which Robbie Avila is his actual name.
Yeah.
For a second, I was like, I literally can't think of him as anything else. But that should be a really fun inside matchup to watch in terms of crazy athlete and physical presence in Sumpto Surreal versus kind of the more finesse footwork guy that is Robbie Avila.
The darling.
Correct.
In a lot of people's hearts.
I am very glad we get to watch him in the tournament because he was going to come a couple years ago and then hurt himself.
Yep.
And that really sucks. So it should be a great game. I'm probably leaning Georgia here. I'm just going to kind of look at that last 4-4 stretch from St. Louis, and that's going to be enough to keep me from picking them. But they are a fun team, and I will be excited to watch this game.
Yeah, Georgia got a win to close out their SEC play against Alabama at home. So they are playing well. Lost their first tournament game in the SEC tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
I also will be using my veto to pick Georgia because I think this is Sanders' veto pick.
No, it's not.
Dang! So I just wasted it. Oh well. I'm wondering who your veto pick is then.
Technically, I hadn't. What did you? Who did you pick? You picked.
I'm gonna pick Georgia.
So I guess I think can't veto, but I'm just trying to trump. I'm just trying to trump.
It.
Well,
so
then I saw my veto.
You still
Perfect.
have your veto technically. I will pick St. Louis, but it doesn't matter because y'all both picked Georgia.
I wonder who your
I
veto
could
is
use my
then.
veto here.
We're all saving it. Oh boy.
I will not.
That's why I'm trying to hop it. All 3 of us have it, and so I'm really interested to see where someone's trying to pull it at.
Yeah, I got my eyes on that Tennessee State game.
Yeah.
Big Tennessee State guy.
That is okay.
Santa Clara. That's what I thought. I mean, St. Louis has a win over a conference team, over a NCAA tourney team, Santa Clara, and we're over here not voting for them. That's crazy.
Yeah, because they lost to Rhode Island and George Mason and George Washington and then Dayton twice in their last 8 games. So
Wait. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Hey, Dayton is sometimes good at basketball. We got to keep that in mind. Okay, Georgia, and then we can move on.
yes, this brings us to our 5 versus 12 in the Midwest region. Number 5 seed Texas Tech versus 12 seed Akron. Couple things to note: we have yet to pick a 12 seed to win. and that's typically like you always want to pick one. This is also going to be a pretty popular pick. Akron's a team that is quite good out of the MAC in terms of like they've kind of run the MAC in recent years. So this is not a thing where like a 7 seed out of the MAC went on a run and won it or anything. They're good. They have tournament experience, even if it's not led to wins yet. As well as Texas Tech is their best player, JT Toppin, tore his ACL about a month ago, or a little less than a month ago. So he's out. Christian Anderson is an elite point guard. I love him so much. But at this point, they've become a team that is very reliant on the three-point shot. I have the numbers as I troll down. Yeah, they're top 10 in three-point attempts per game. That's basically how they're gonna live or die by the three right now. The lack, I mean, just no Toppin. That was their post player, their inside scoring presence. So that's scary for them. They have shown in a couple games that they have enough shooters and they have enough dogs and they'll play good enough defense that they can win big games without him. But I think they've lost some of that kind of consistency. Them from being a consistently like great team to now they're just a sometimes great team. That being said, I still am going to pick them to beat the Zips. I'll trust in my boy Christian Anderson to get the job done.
Yeah, Akron is 0-4 versus tournament teams. Losses at Purdue, to Yale at home, and then at Miami of Ohio and at Troy. I like, shout out CT, Texas Tech and the Red Raiders to win this game. I think Akron's going to be a very popular pick, and while we should pick a 12 seed, I'm still going to take Texas Tech here.
Is that Troy game in the middle of conference play?
Yeah.
Odd. Very odd.
I mean, Duke, Michigan played
That's true.
almost
Okay.
halfway through their conference
State
play.
doesn't do that. State does not have high profile. I feel like they don't. Maybe I'm just not remembering any.
It's a very un-SEC team thing, I feel like, because even the Big Ten will do this thing where they'll play a couple conference games, and then it's almost like they're like, okay, now that we got our feet wet, we play 2 non-conference games, and then we're like, we finish out the rest with conference play.
Interesting.
I don't know why, but
In the video game, you're allowed to schedule 3 games in between conference play, non-conference games.
interesting.
So I don't know what the rule is in real life, but
I will also go Texas Tech. Although it is close, my model technically have this as a push. It'd be 0. But Texas Tech, I think, has a slight edge, like in the decimals. So we'll give it to them.
Yeah, I will say Akron has a guy named Shama Scott, which is pretty cool. And this could be a good matchup for them because their tallest guy is 6'7". Like their tallest guy that plays, not even their tallest guy that starts. Their tallest guy that gets at least 10 minutes is 6'7". So maybe that helps Texas Tech because the lack of Toppin doesn't come back to bite them. But maybe it's Akron. You know, the fact we don't have a big guy doesn't matter because like Toppin would feast here, but he's not here.
Yeah.
So we can move on though. I'm rambling. Next one, and this one got very spicy today all of a sudden. But it's 4-seeded Alabama versus 13-seed Hofstra. And I would say the biggest news that's broken today is that Aiden Holloway got arrested with over a pound of weed and a couple other things.
But
as
no
well.
tax stamp.
Yeah,
Whatever that means.
whatever that means. Regardless, he's
I don't
been
know
removed from campus and is not on the team while the investigation is going on. And so it just seems like he's not going to play this week. And I believe he's their second leading scorer.
he is.
And so while I'll just go and say it right now, I still have Alabama winning this game. I think
Yep.
LeBaron Philon and the rest of the team can get it done. This really becomes a concern down the stretch of the tournament, especially. A couple things about Hofstra. Their coach's name is Speedy Claxton, and he's a Hofstra alum. He played at Hofstra.
Sick.
But fire name. And then their leading scorer is Cruz Davis, who's a 20-point-per-game scorer, shoots 40% from 3. So that's what I got.
I'm just looking at the other 5 seeds. Wisconsin, St. John's.
You mean other 4 seeds?
No, I'm just looking at so for Alabama, Texas Tech not having JT Toppin, is that the best 5 seed they could pull for a right? So
I think most definitely. We picked Vanderbilt to be
yeah.
Yes, I would agree.
right
And
there
so-
in the Elite 8.
Alabama, you might be optimistic and say, well, once they figure the legal things out and maybe appeals and Alabama knows their way around courts and stuff.
I don't know. Over a pound of weed is pretty
Yeah,
bad.
no, I'm just
In cash.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was recreational use.
Yeah.
at
That's
that
what
point.
that's
That
what a
is
bunch
tough.
of people have said. They're like, "Oh, I can't believe you're still arresting people for a little bit of weed," and people are like, a pound of weed is not a little bit of weed.
Well,
Because I'm right there with you. When people get pulled over and like players get arrested, and it's like they had
they're gonna
a
be
gram
back.
of weed.
Yeah, they're
it's
gonna
like,
be back.
okay, whatever. This is like a Tony Mitchell type beat.
Yeah. Well, that was going to be my point. Is with the Texas Tech draw, maybe they get to the second weekend and then figure that out. But it sounds like they won't be figuring it out.
Sure.
But I guess you have an extra week to try and. I mean, they found out on Monday. They play. What day is their first game? 3/20 Friday.
This is Friday, yeah.
So
They get an extra day.
an extra day, and then you get the. Hopefully, you beat Texas Tech, and then you figure out how to game plan for theoretically Michigan.
They do
I'll
also-
just say the 1 seed.
They have a deeper backcourt.
Yeah.
Like if Cheryl or whatever their center's
Yeah.
name is, if he got busted, it'd be like, oh gosh, like they may just play 5 guards or like
Yeah,
a couple forwards.
They could go to Youngblood. If I'm not mistaken, Youngblood.
no,
right?
he's gone. He's on the he's been playing for OKC a little
Okay,
bit.
that
But they have like Allen,
what was his name?
Latrell,
Wrightsrell. That was
yeah.
It was a double name. Wrightsrell. Who they could go to.
Yeah.
It is a double name.
It is right. So
Wrightsell.
Oh wait, that's actually a double name. I thought
Yeah.
it was one word.
I mean, it's one.
It is
word,
one
but
word,
like
but like Youngblood.
2 syllables.
Wrightsell.
is that
compound word is what we're looking for.
I
Ted.
think
Oh, okay,
compound
okay,
compound
okay,
word.
okay. Now I see.
Yeah,
You're over
yeah.
here
They're
saying
both
it's a double
compound
name.
words. No,
Okay.
compound words.
I was like, we're really calling 2 syllable names double
No,
names.
Sorry, compound.
makes a lot more
compound
sense.
names. It is.
Hollow Way. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
double name
It's
as
an interesting
well.
thought. I think we're all on Alabama.
Yeah,
So-
my model has them at 5.5. So I'll go
I'm
Alabama.
vetoing using Hofstra.
Okay,
I was going to pick Hofstra as well.
So-
I like Cruz Davis.
so Hofstra advances.
I think Aiden Holloway being gone, big deal, big problem. And now it'll just be a battle of who's better, Cruz Davis or Labarion Philon on that day. And while Philon I really like, having seen him play in person this year, I think Hofstra gets it done and
Cool.
advances, beats the Crimson Tide.
See, I was going to
Sorry,
use.
Sanders.
No, I was going to use it to put in Hofstra. That's why I voted Alabama.
Too late.
What? I was just like, I don't need my veto anymore. Like, I was.
Yet another emotional hedge on his own team from
Oh
Sanders.
my
It's like
gosh.
it's his
Oh my
favorite move.
gosh.
It's his favorite move.
Oh man, I never want to quit podcasting more than when y'all call me an Alabama fan.
All right, next matchup is 6 versus 11. 6 seed Tennessee versus either Miami of Ohio or SMU. I'm going to lean SMU probably comes out. SMU did just sneak into the tournament, but they've been missing one of their better players down the stretch, and he should be back, so that should be a big boost. I think they can take care of Miami of Ohio. Call me a hater if you want. It's just how I feel.
My model thinks you're a hater.
Cool. Well, your model loves wins, so...
Actually, the point spread has nothing to do with wins.
mm.
It has to do with how many points you score and how many points you give up.
Yeah, but that
And
means you won a lot
Miami.
of games.
Uh,
I just feel like your model does. Yeah, okay, never mind.
the model
We
has.
won't get into gripes with the model.
Yeah, this is a new model. New model.
We won't get
2.0.
in- we won't get
version
into gripes
2.0.
with the model.
Yeah, don't you can't. Yeah, you can't get mad at the model.
Anyway, SMU, Kevin Boopy Miller, my boy Boopy Miller, elite name, 19 points per game scorer. Jaron Pierre, 18 point per game scorer. Then they have Samet Yigatolu, 7'2" guy, holding down the paint. The reason I'm talking a lot about SMU is because I'm a Rick Barnes hater, and I don't really love this version of a Tennessee team. And so I actually have SMU pulling the upset and beating Tennessee in the first round. Jacoby Gillespie is a very good guard. I'm a bit of a hater. He's not efficient enough for me, and he plays a little soft. He hasn't filled out his frame enough yet. And so I think the guards of SMU can get after Tennessee and score enough to win this game.
Yeah, I haven't liked a Tennessee team since Grant Peterson and Admiral Schofield were
Grant Williams.
Williams. Thank you, not Grant Peter. Who's that? That's the
Grant,
best.
he's a guy that went to
No.
Mississippi State.
No. I swear it's a basketball.
I
Okay.
don't know of a Grant Peterson.
Okay, never mind. Well, thank you, Grant Williams.
Grant, I'm gonna make them both. Williams.
Yes, and Admiral Schofield. I loved Admiral. That was a fun basketball team. That
Nope.
was very fun.
They had on the Tennessee orange,
Uh-huh.
so there was just no rooting for that team.
Well, I liked Admiral Schofield. The stories around there were really cool. But I'm down. I would go Miami, Ohio here, but I'll pick the 11 seed to get the upset. And then
Give me SMU to beat Miami, Ohio, and then
Cool.
to beat Tennessee.
Love to see we're all on the anti
Did I just
Tennessee
combine
train.
Darren
so
Peterson and Grant Williams? Maybe that's what happened in my brain.
maybe.
Because, I mean, they're pretty similar tiers of players.
Sure. You do get that reference now. The Grant, I'm going to make them both Williams.
Shout out Creed.
Next matchup, 3-seed Virginia. Shout out the Cavaliers in their first season under Ryan Odom. Will face off against the 14-seeded Wright State, who I don't know their mascot. A dog or wolf of some sort. Virginia is a great...
Looks like Balto. Is that his name?
Balto is a movie. Yes, that's pretty solid.
The Raiders.
Interesting. So, okay.
Wow.
We were wrong.
That's a very misleading logo.
This is Virginia's first time in the tournament since the Tony Bennett teams, and so the first thing you'll notice the pace is way up from Tony Bennett teams. And also they're top 10 in offensive rebounding percentage, and they're first in blocks per game. Onyenso, transfer from Kentucky, he's a top rim protector in college basketball. He kind of made his name in the NCAA or in the ACC tournament. He had a game with 8 blocks against Wake Forest, and he had 9 blocks in the championship game against Duke, and kind of shut down Cam Boozer. They're a very good defensive team. They're a pretty good offensive team. Tice DeRitter and Chance Mallory are 2 freshmen that have really popped for them. DeRitter's from Belgium. He's their leading scorer. They're a pretty fun team. I don't think they're anything special. They also played a very weak schedule and kind of lost some of their bigger games in terms of they lost to Duke both times, once by blowout, once close, and then they lost to North Carolina. Their best win is probably at Louisville, which is like, I'm not saying it's a bad win, but when that's your best win, you know, there may be some questions about you just like kind of beat up on the teams you should beat up on, but you don't really have that elite gear. I guess we will see. Regardless, I think this team is good enough to beat Wright State. And I think they play sound enough basketball to handle Wright State. I'm not too worried about an upset here.
I would agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I like the Cavs as well.
Cool.
I think they'll make a deep run.
Interesting 7 versus 10 matchup here. 7-seeded Kentucky, kind of the disappointment of the SEC, versus 10-seed Santa Clara. Out of the WCC. And it's their first tournament appearance in like 30 years.
Yeah.
So big deal for them. One I've really struggled with because...
They did it as an at-large, too, which
Yes.
is just incredible.
Very, very impressive. I think they're a legitimately good team. And then this Kentucky team is just kind of like very Jekyll and Hyde, and it's mainly bad, but they do have some games where they look really good, or even a stretch of a game where they play like 7 minutes and you can see the vision and the talent really pops. But for the most part, they just look pretty disjointed, can't get it done. So I'm... Any leans? You could either, maybe
I have my
we all
lean.
talking helps me out.
Go ahead, Sanders.
My model has Santa Clara as half-point favorites.
No, there you go.
So I would lean Santa Clara here. It's also apparently, I was, listening to some people break the bracket down this morning to get ready for this, and they also were all talking about Santa Clara being the fan favorite, the exciting upset pick. So, I mean, I'll be interested to see. And I do feel like Kentucky kind of has that opportunity for create disappointment in them, just because they've disappointed all season, not living up to the expectations, not living up to the budget. And so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see them do that one more time this season.
Sure.
I like the Wildcats, Kentucky. I think they are built like an SEC kind of team, and I think that'll be enough to beat this Santa Clara team. I watched Santa Clara play against Gonzaga in the WCC championship. I thought Santa Clara shot the ball better than I would have expected, and yet they still lost by 11 to Gonzaga. I think Kentucky's better. I like Ortega Owe to have a really good day, and the Wildcats to advance.
I think I'm on Kentucky too, and I don't think it'd necessarily be pretty, but Owe will kind of... Sometimes watching him, it feels like he's just banging his head against the goalpost over and over again. Like he just banging his head into a brick wall, but then he still finishes with 24 points. And so I think they'll get enough out of him and a couple other pieces to win this game. Spoiler, I don't really expect him to go much further, though. Last game of the round of 64 in the Midwest region, Iowa State versus Tennessee State. This is a fantastic Iowa State team, and it's kind of their now or never year. Justin Jefferson is old. Tamim Lipsey's old. Momchilovich, their great shooter, shooting like 49% from 3. He's a junior. And while it's also their now or never season, it's not like it's also now or never because they have the talent and the chops to make a really good run. So it's not like an unfair now or never statement, I guess. And with that being said, I've picked them to comfortably beat Tennessee State.
Likewise.
Yeah, same. And I'm not using my veto. Harris, I'm not sure if he's daring me to use the veto for the Kentucky Santa Clara game,
That's definitely what he's talking about.
which
Definitely.
I feel very bad for him because he has like the worst relationship with Kentucky men's he like hates Kentucky men's basketball.
They're not a very fun team to watch most times this year.
Yeah. No, like he has for as long as I've known. Maybe like 3 or 4 years ago he was a fan, but he just like he would much rather watch Kentucky women's basketball.
Well, that's fair. It is really interesting to become a Kentucky fan and hate your best sport.
Correct.
But here we are.
But
it's also
also
very
you
interesting
could
to just choose to be a Kentucky fan in general.
But also maybe he's emotionally hedging because if you're going to get let down by a team, it's probably going to be the men's basketball team because they have the highest expectations.
Maybe.
And they have not lived up to those expectations since 2012.
I mean, they've had a couple good runs. The Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox year was fire.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll go Iowa State
Cool.
and will not use my veto on Tennessee State, which means that me and Jack both leave. Can we save our vetoes for next year?
No, they do not stack, unfortunately.
Okay.
Round of 32, first matchup, 1-seeded Michigan versus 8-seeded Georgia. I think this Michigan team is just so good. Maybe down the line, the loss of L.J. Kaysen, kind of their backup point guard and backup ball handler, will hurt them. I don't think this is a matchup. At least in the first couple rounds, I honestly just think their front court can carry them. Daymara, Yaxel Lindenborg, Morez Johnson. Even if maybe their guard play isn't elite, I don't think that comes into question yet. I like them to beat Georgia.
Yeah, I just don't think Michigan's going to struggle against a team like Georgia.
Yeah.
And so I just don't see a world where Georgia is in a tight competitive game unless Blue Cane is going to be a March hero, that would be phenomenal.
That would be cool.
That would be really cool. Blue Cane, everyone's All-American. I'll take Michigan and go blue.
Cool.
Same.
Next matchup then. 5-seed Texas Tech versus 13-seed Hofstra. I like Texas Tech here. It was going to be an interesting spot. Pre-veto of like Texas Tech has a big hole. Alabama has a big hole. I don't really feel great about either of these teams, but I have to pick one. So honestly, shout out the veto, JP, because it makes this position a little easier for me. Even without Toppin, I think there's enough talent and shooting on that Tech team, and they're well enough coached that they can beat Hofstra and get to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, likewise. No disagreements.
Yep.
Cool. Is the mouse good?
Let me
To
check.
be determined. Next matchup then, which is technically it's Miami of Ohio or SMU versus Virginia in the round of 32. 3-seeded Virginia, 11th-seeded SMU or Miami of Ohio. We actually have seen the SMU and UVA matchup this season already.
Yeah, known ACC matchup.
Known ACC matchup, and SMU lost at home 72-68 to Virginia. So a close game. I think it'd be a close game again. I think I will ride with Virginia. I think they're built to be a little more steady and a little more consistent than the SMU team. Even if maybe the SMU team, their guards, their guard trio roll in and just kill Virginia on a great shooting night. I'll trust the size and defense of Virginia to get the win here.
Yeah, I really like Virginia. I noted when you had done your little March preview that I hadn't watched many Virginia games, and I've now since watched a couple of Virginia games, and I really do like the way they play.
Hard part about watching Virginia is they really didn't play very many great games to
who's
watch.
Who's the ball guy?
Oh my gosh, what is his name?
I
Hold
couldn't
on.
remember his name either, but the confidence that he brings off the bench to just shoot the ball whenever is something I really admire. It shows a lot of, confidence for a bench player to come off the bench and then shoot the ball like that and take the shots he takes. Jakari White.
Yeah.
It shows the confidence that is built in that entire team. It's the confidence you have in your teammate. It's the confidence your coach has in you to say, "Hey, this is what you're good at. Go do it."
43% from 3 on 5 attempts a game.
43% from 3. Like you said, 5 attempts from 3 off the bench. That's a lot. I just love this the way this team is composed and put together.
Sure.
I think Virginia would get it done at a rematch for SMU.
Well, Virginia's moving on regardless, Sanders, but do you have anything you'd like to add to
No,
the analysis?
that's who I would have picked as well. So
Great. That leads us to our last round of 32 matchup here, and it's 7-seeded Kentucky versus 2-seeded Iowa State. I raved about this Iowa State team, and I kind of dogged on the Kentucky team despite picking them. And so I think it's pretty clear my pick here is Iowa State. I think their shooting, their defense, kind of their veteran presence is like the opposite of Kentucky. Like I feel pretty good. I know what I'm going to get from Iowa State, and I don't know what I'm going to get from Kentucky at all. So I'll take the consistent team and just the better overall team, too, in Iowa State to advance.
Yeah, it feels like if we were in a year where the 1 seeds felt weaker, which we haven't been for now 2 straight years, Iowa State would have a really fighting chance to be a 1 seed.
Yeah.
I'll take the Cyclones as well over Kentucky.
Cool. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
nope. I mean, we know the Cyclones. We lost to them. They're a very, very good basketball team, and if they
Yeah.
win it all, then we can claim that we lost the national champions. So
This is true.
you
This-
could argue that we're the. Wait,
And
how many?
if LIU wins it all, we could argue that we beat the national champions,
True.
along with many SEC teams. But
That one, but most notably.
yes,
We finished like 18 losses, something like that.
yeah, I think so.
So there's an
13,
argument
18.
that we're the 19th best team in the country if we lose to Iowa. If
Could be,
if
yeah.
Iowa State wins it all, we might be the 19th best team in the country.
Possibly. That takes us to Sweet 16 matchup, 1-seeded Michigan versus 5-seed Tech. And I do think this is where the loss of Toppin would really hurt against that
Yeah.
Michigan front court. I think it'd be a really bad matchup, and it'd be a great matchup for Michigan. I think they would love this path to the Elite Eight.
Mhm.
And so I'll take Michigan in this matchup. Kind of no sweat, to be honest.
Yeah, Michigan's got 3 bigs they can go to, and Texas Tech doesn't have their best one. I'm all over the Wolverines as well.
Good with that, Sanders?
Yep.
Are you picking the stunner Texas Tech?
No,
Shout out
I am.
CT.
I am not. I like I said have all 4 1 seeds in my Final Four. As much as I hate it, that's
What
just kind of
happened?
it's kind of how it is.
It's been a very chalky region, but this is to 3-seeded Virginia versus 2-seed Iowa State. What would be a fantastic matchup? I feel like a real chess match. A lot of great, smart players, 2 good coaches.
Yep.
Um,
Both teams got a foreign guy who's a baller. that
Exactly.
lead the team in scoring.
I think I'd lean Iowa State here. I think their ceiling is a little higher than Virginia's, especially their offensive ceiling. I think they just have some guys that, like, if it gets down to a close game, and I think this game would be close, there's guys I trust on Iowa State to create shots and make shots, and I think that's my one qualm with Virginia. I've seen it at a couple of moments, even looking at the Duke game in the ACC title game.
Yeah.
There was kind of some. It didn't look like they were crazy comfortable in the clutch, and maybe it's just because they were playing one of the best defensive teams in the country. But it was a lot of tough ISO stuff, a lot of kind of turnaround jumpers in the clutch, not really fantastic looks. So I think I trust Iowa State there more, so I'll pick them.
Yeah, I thought the offensive sets that Iowa State ran down the stretch against Arizona for Milan, their leading scorer, who was having a great day shooting the ball. The sets that they ran to get him open, because by the time he's made his 4th 3, you're like, yeah, we should start guarding him more closely. And then he still
Yes.
finds 4 more open looks that he makes and ends up with 8 threes in that game. I like them down the stretch of a game as well over Virginia. I'll take the Cyclones to advance to Elite 8. And that's our only – no, that's our second 1 versus 2 matchup at this point.
Yes. All 1 seeds have advanced so far to the Final Four, and we'll see if this is any different. Elite 8 in the Midwest region, 1-seed Michigan versus 2-seed Iowa State. Be a fantastic matchup. Both undoubtedly top 8 teams, no duh. I mean, they're 1 and 2 seeds, but I don't think at all Iowa State's a weak 2 seed. I think they're a fantastic 2 seed. Just only so many teams can be 1 seeds, kind of like what JP was talking about earlier. I think this is maybe where try and make a bit of a read. I think I have Iowa State winning this game. my one concern with that, and why I probably really shouldn't do it, is I think Iowa State center Blake Buchanan is the guy that can get pushed around a little bit.
Yeah.
He's not the biggest of
Yeah,
frames.
agreed.
But I'm just going to trust the shooting of Iowa State to carry through that. And maybe he holds down the fort enough. And, like, Justin Jefferson, he's not crazy tall, but he's a big physical body. He could guard someone like Yaxel, I think. But I'll take Iowa State to pull off a semi-upset. I mean, they're a 2 seed over 1, but
Yeah, you'd be in the minority with that 2.6 million people have picked Michigan to the Final Four already,
geez.
and only 900,000 have picked Iowa State to the Final Four, and these are the 1 versus 2. So you would 100% be in the minority there. Sanders, do you lean anywhere?
I'm leaning Michigan. I will lean the 1 seeds winning out and giving us a chalked Final Four. But that leaves it to you to decide if we do have that.
Well, we do have Illinois in the Final Four.
Oh, excuse me. You're right.
Yeah,
right.
I misspoke. I apologize. I
You're
said,
good.
I said
But
we had
all
other
4
ones, so-
1 seed have made the Elite 8 for us. I'm going to go with Iowa State. I thought with it's hard to find a way to close out a season on a loss and still feel so good and hot about your team.
Yeah.
And they did that in the Big 12 semifinal against Arizona, losing on a buzzer beater. So I'll take the Cyclones. I don't think this Michigan team is built to win a championship.
I don't think the
do
guard
think
play's
they're
good enough.
built to be a Final Four, but yeah, like
Yeah.
you said, the guard play just isn't good enough. We've seen size dominate away to a championship, but I just don't think if you're going to pick a size team, you pick Duke with Cameron Boozer, or maybe even Arizona with their 3 bigs over Michigan. And that's no slight to Yaxel Hindenburg or Michigan. I just think Iowa State would get this done here. I think they've got enough and better guard play as well. So give me the Cyclones to face Arizona in a rematch and yet another semifinal.